Hi everybody, welcome to our event today. This session is called Increasing Employee Productivity, Wellbeing and Safety Using Low-Code Technology. My name's Matt Lawson. I'm the Solutions Director for Mitra Innovation. In this short session, I'm going to tell you a little bit more about Mitra. First of all, a little bit of history. We were founded in 2012 and we've grown very rapidly. We now have over 200 employees. Our headquarters is in the UK, but we also have a presence in Germany, Singapore, Australia, and Sri Lanka. And we serve clients in 16 different countries around the world, but that's growing rapidly. And we have over 125 clients, and we've delivered over 300 digital innovation projects for them. So with Mitra, you get access to a really powerful partner ecosystem that helps you accelerate innovation and lead on innovation. We help organizations launch innovative new products and services, and we offer innovation as a service. We've embraced low-code and no-code products and technology so that we can transform your business ideas into solutions in minutes and hours rather than days and weeks. We've partnered with Creatio and Netcall in this space. We also offer machine learning, artificial intelligence and data management and analytics services as well, again partnering with Talend and Rainbird. We also do extensive integration services, bringing your platforms and systems and applications together and making them work seamlessly for your customers and your employees. Here we've partnered with WSO2 and Dell Boomi. And finally, we're experts in cloud native development, but also cloud migration as well. And we are partners with AWS and Azure. And here we can see our end-to-end service model that tells you about all of the capabilities that we have to offer. So on the left here, you'll see our strategic consultancy services. So things like innovation workshops, maturity assessments covering digital transformation and DevOps, for example, and also solution design and architecture as well. You'll see at the bottom of the page, in the bottom left corner there, we also develop our own products and services in Mitra Ventures as well. Two examples here, Dynamedics, which is a low-code based platform for employee health and well-being, and Millie, which is a digital payment solution that we've created as well. Our solution engineering lifecycle gives you a bit more detail on all of the different capabilities and services that we offer when we're taking your idea or your potential solution through into implementation and launch. We focus heavily in the telco, the healthcare and the retail sector, but we also have experience and capability across all sectors. And the services cover everything from application development, systems integration, robotic process automation, data management and analytics, AI and machine learning, as I said earlier. And we also provide the services to support all of that as well. So project and program management, customer experience design, software engineering, quality assurance and DevOps. Finally, once we've created a solution for you, we can take that into in-life management as well as part of our managed services. So taking responsibility for the total cost of ownership of that for you, making sure it's operated efficiently and effectively and securely as well over time. And you'll see at the bottom here, we've done over 100 different integrations between various platforms for a very large number of organizations. So that's the end of the introduction to Mitra. Thank you for listening. I'm now going to hand over to Ashok, who's going to tell you a little bit more about Dynamedics and also low-code innovation for employee productivity and health.
Thank you, Matt, for the introduction. I am Ashok Sopaya, CEO and co-founder of Mitra Innovation, which is part of the Mitra Group, headquartered in the UK. First of all, I'd like to thank you, Creatio, for giving us the opportunity to share our experience with the wider audience. The area that I want to focus is around our corporate employee productivity and health and well-being. How can we really help them to handle all the challenges in the health side and also help them to increase their capabilities and be more effective and efficient? We looked at this problem for a few years now, given our extensive experience in the healthcare space, but with COVID-19 and lockdown started back early in March, the problem became a major issue. So one of the products that we designed and started rolling out this year is called Dynamedics. The product is all around as employees, how can they express their issues, their health-related challenges, and as a corporate, how can we listen to them, how can we analyze their needs, and really come up with programs to help them with. Now, when we started designing and building Dynametics, there were a few principles that are very important for us. One of them is speed to market. We want to innovate really, really fast. It's very important to do the design right, at the same time develop their product right. It has to be highly scalable, very secure, and we also want to be able to sell this into multiple markets. So internationalization, integration, everything is very, very crucial. We chose Creatio. Obviously, we are Creatio strategic partner globally. We are the third largest partner at the moment, but we also do a lot of product development on top of their Creatio Studio, the BPM technology. We have extensive experience in that space. So we chose Creatio, and we were able to rapidly design the application and in fact launch our first customer in Boston within 2 weeks, and I'll discuss a little bit shortly. But the most important is innovation, which is our DNA. That's our the real specialization. We are all about bringing innovative ideas to the market. I'm talking about healthcare here in the corporate sector, but we do a lot of these for fintech, logistics, construction industry, etc. So one thing I want all of you to really take it is innovation matters, and Creatio platform helps us to deliver that. Focusing more in the corporate healthcare challenge, it's all about workplace performance. So how do we make our employees perform well? If they don't, if they're unable to contribute enough, or if they're not effective in their work, it's going to cost us. And there are a lot of research done over the last decade or so, clearly identifying loss of productivity, increase in absenteeism, increase in presenteeism, and also poor engagement from our employees. These are common issues that we see. However, what I want to highlight is the impact in health and well-being contributes directly towards these impacts. We identified 7 areas where health and well-being could impact in your corporate world. By the way, all these research are from WHO, ISO 43001, and now the new 43003, and a lot of research done by various organizations from US to Australia. Respiratory health, if you're in the construction space or if you're in the manufacturing space, that's an area. Muscular skeleton issue is not only for physical labor, it's also if your employees are working from home, if they're not sitting in a proper chair, it can lead into neck problem or wrist problem. Mental health, we know there's depression, anxiety, which is a big thing. I believe we were talking to Beyond Blue in Australia, and also the Melbourne hospital. And recently in the UK, they're expecting mental health to be almost 40% of the challenges they're going to see. Diabetes, lifestyle, COVID-19, of course. So there are a number of areas where we are seeing quite a lot of issues. A lot of the journalists have published very clear insights. So we want to really help and help people to at least outline the challenge and also learn from it and see what actions we can do. So how do we do it? So from a Dynametics point of view, we have identified 4 clear steps. It's iterative steps that helps corporates to tackle this problem. One is we listen to the employees. We record their needs on a daily or a weekly basis, depending on the work environment. There are 3 different front end we have designed for employees to communicate their health and well-being related challenges. The second step is the data gets collected using artificial intelligence and very sophisticated data scientific models. We analyze and we come up with actionable insights. So it's a very data-driven approach. By the way, Creatio has some really great technology for us to do that. And we are able to produce a number of insights in terms of what's really causing your absenteeism, what's causing your employees' morale or lack of engagement, and be able to produce that information. Then the business, together with the HR partner, their HSC partners, are able to come up with various programs, which is the planning stage. They're able to come up with different initiatives and roll out those initiatives. And our platform keeps an eye on it, sees how those programs are evolving. And the refined stage is where you can measure the outcome, reassess the impact to health and well-being of your workforce, and make some adjustments to the model, and then it goes back to the listen and learn, plan, refine. So it's an iterative process. It's very easy to use, and it takes it to the next level. Fortunately, we had some great customers recently. There's been good customer success. First one is a construction organization in Boston. In spite of COVID, even back in April, May, they were able to ensure their workers are screened on a daily basis. The application was able to detect and tell the employees or contractors whether to come to work or not come to work. We were able to measure almost 275 hours of increased productivity per week because of all the process and the steps we have put in place, both from a well-being and safety. Agilis Health is a new organization come about in the UK, providing CPR testing for private sector. And the platform is designed to scale and handle a large volume of requests. The whole entire workflow is managed through the platform. And more recently, we've been working with a very large hospital chain called Ramsay Hospital. They're the 5th largest global hospital chain in the world. And they are rolling out a platform more on the mental health management side, which brings in the relationship between the patients and the psychiatrists in a digital environment and a completely managed program. And we expect that program to be very successful. So even though that's on the clinical side, the science behind it, the clinical validation behind that really helps in the corporate sector. And finally, I want to highlight, because it's a corporate enterprise solution, we want this to be an ecosystem, not a standalone application. So our intention is we will integrate to your HR, your health benefit platform. You may have various data sources, legacy system that we will integrate with. The platform comes with a very sophisticated, scalable open API. It's a SaaS solution, but it could be cloud or hosted in your data center as well. On the front end, as I mentioned earlier, we have 3 different applications that you could use, web app to the mobile app to a large scale enterprise-wide distribution mobile platform. In terms of the functional modules, we, in addition to the functionalities we have developed, we're able to integrate with products like Calm, products like Headspace, and various other products out in the market for different components. So some we built it, some we're integrating with product vendors out in the market, some are emerging products as well. But under the engine, we have all the security, the GDPR compliance, data analytics, video consultation is out of the box, the whole comprehensive AI-based analytics also in the technology as well. And we have a very long roadmap to take this product to the market. So we are really excited. As I mentioned, 3 clients already using the platform. 2 clients are about to trial this quarter. So that's a great success for us to bring in innovation rapidly. And we are looking for partners, both on the sales side and of course, corporates who are willing to collaborate and evaluate new initiatives, new programs. So it's exciting. Really thank you. And I'm going to pass over to Aisha, who's a VP of product management, and she will demo the application. Thank you.
Thank you, Ashok. That was definitely very illuminating. Thank you, Creatio, for giving me the opportunity today as well to speak about what we've been able to achieve using the Creatio Studio and low-code technology. We are going to be speaking about increasing employee productivity, well-being, and safety. There'll be a live demo using Creatio Studio that we have actually been able to take to market quite soon, as Ashok mentioned. I'm Aisha Ansar. I lead product innovations with Mitra Ventures. And one of the reasons why we chose Creatio Studio is that it lent the experience and workflow management for employee well-being. So very quickly to recap from what Ashok mentioned earlier, poor health at workplace is causing low performance. Now, health, of course, is multiple aspects, and therefore the Creatio Studio was well suited to manage the different pathways that each employee might have to take through. For today's demonstration, I thought the COVID-19 management module would be interesting for all of you joining us today. So I will be walking you through that particular setup. The low-code platform with Creatio's stringent security setup enabled us to go to market very quickly, and that was one main reason why my team was very happy with using Creatio's low-code platform. So let me actually go into the details in terms of how quickly we were able to run it through. Short run through, you can try this out yourself for everybody tuning in. It's available in the Creatio marketplace under Dynamics Corporate Creatio. So there's a vertical solution set up for you there. Now, when we think about employee health and well-being, you generally think about employees, reporting managers, HR, HSC directors, all of them being part of this ecosystem. So today I will go through the COVID-19 assessment in terms of looking at three primary users, the contractor workforce and the employee COVID-19 assessment tools that they would be using. Now, if we look at the contingent workforce, they will be from mining industries, oil and gas industries, frontline workers. So let's take a look at how they could essentially improve their ability to express any discomfort, ability to define whether they are cleared to come into work from an HSC perspective. Also ensuring that as an employer, you are able to provide the duty of care that you need to in order to ensure employee productivity. So here I'm just going into an extension on the Creatio Studio. So on the Dynamics platform, the employee interface is multi-port. So because it's contractors, it's on the mobile interface. So the field workers have easy access. So let's say Alejandro is actually checking in today and we are going through the COVID-19 wellness check. So apart from being tested positive, there are different conditions that may put yourself in a higher risk category. Other scenarios where you're living with someone who has been detected with symptoms. And also if you had, because this is a contingent workforce, worked at different sites where there had been reported cases. Now all of this, of course, all lend to additional elements of risk, and each organization will have their own modes of escalating risk and managing health. So the default is based on CDC guidelines if you're from the US, gov.uk guidelines from UK, and globally from WHO for European and Asian counterparts. So each element here essentially ensures that you are able to understand the level of risk of exposure to your workforce. Now, when you have this daily check-in set up, it's then escalated to management in terms of understanding how well is my workforce, and are there other elements beyond COVID-19 that impact productivity of my team. So you are able to actually have clinical guidelines, symptoms captured accurately, company-wide insights in terms of how well your workplace well-being is looked at and what actions you can take. So very quickly, if you look into the management interface now, you see all the folks that's expected to come into work and whether they have been approved to come into work. Now, this is of course flexible, and this low-code studio works really well here in terms of the seamless integrations to backend HR systems, incentive management systems, and it can also plug into real-time data analytics from the employee side. So very quickly, if we consider Alejandro actually suggesting that he did not have any of the symptoms, but also he had, some exposure in that he was looking after someone who had been, quarantined, if you will, or under social isolation. So you see this list that each person can actually look into in terms of what their symptoms were. You have a clear audit trail in terms of each day who did come into work, what was their symptoms, were they approved, were they rejected, was there any other reason of concern? And if we look into analytics then moving forward, you can also move into retesting if you're providing additional services for health and well-being. So PCR testing at the workforce, you can actually track it. You can define which dates you need to do it further. And if there are any expressions of discomfort, if you have lone workers, if you want to actually run through other inspections and so on, you can have all of that tracked in one single platform. If you want to extend health and well-being beyond PCR testing, COVID-19 has created a really stressful time for all of us in the world. And what that means is, at the well-being perspective, you need to think about psychological health, physical health, social relationships, environments, not just in the workspace, but the environments that an individual is exposed to. So is it in a high-risk zone of COVID-19 contracted? So what this all means is that Alejandro now can actually report and understand further than just COVID-19 screening, but how does that impact my quality of life? How does it impact how I improve my productivity, or how present I am at my workspace? So over here, you see a more detailed analysis for the organization in terms of, social relationship, what I'm highlighting now, understandably lower with social isolation coming into play. Vulnerabilities, because healthcare has been impacted. If you don't have digital care, for example, the correlationship between sleep and economical background. So if I'm under financial pressures because I'm a frontline worker and I may have concerns about my security at the workspace, how does that impact my sleep and therefore my productivity and health? And because this is based on clinically validated protocols, it also showcases how many folks from your team is above average in terms of folks that you need to put attention to ensure that their well-being is well looked after. So that's a very quick demonstration in terms of the Dynametrics platform. I hope that gives you a well enough idea in terms of what it needs to, what capabilities the low-code technology actually enabled us and how quickly it was to take it to market. Now, I understand that we have received a couple of questions. I'm just bringing it up on the screen. How does this enable productivity for an energy company? That's an interesting question. So if I think about it, globally there are different standards in terms of what it means to have compliance to certain conditions. So if you consider energy, you have the contingent workforce scenario, you have the scenario of mental health, you have the scenario of risk introduced in terms of different locations that you may have your workplace report to. And each zone, whether you're in the US, Australia, Europe, Russia, any country that you're from, the WHO guidelines, of course, are global, but each region has their own risk mitigation strategy. So the benefit of Dynametrics and the low-code platform is that you can actually configure multiple layers and levels of response and risk management, and therefore you can also personalize what it means for an employee experience as well as for the organization. So your risk tolerance in energy is going to be very different to the risk tolerance that is, for example, in a financial industry, in the bank, for example. So all of that can be configured quite easily. And you also have guidance from OSHA support and resources. You have guidance from ISO 45001, ISO 45003 that is being formulated as we speak. So there's good set of resources in terms of understanding how best to manage your risk mitigation strategy. I hope that answered your question. I'm also receiving another question from the participants today. Just going to check that. I may not be able to answer all the questions, but I'm just going to take one. Can this product integrate to our HR and benefits platform? Are there any other capabilities of the low-code tech that lends itself to well-being software products? Yes, you can. So Creatio's low-code studio enables open APIs and has a rich interface in terms of connectors and adapters so that it's easier to link into your current landscape in your HR ecosystem. Also, in terms of low-code extendability, there are lots of other things from data visualization to AI and machine learning models that actually improve well-being, all the way from wellness coding to personalized journeys. Okay, I think that brings us to all the time we have today. Thank you very much for joining in. Again, I would love to thank Creatio for providing us the opportunity to tune in to this wonderful event. Thank you.
Thank you so much for listening to our presentation. We really value your time. And also, I want to thank Creatio, our strategic partner, to giving us this opportunity. I hope this presentation was useful for you. We would really like to hear from you. Please come to our virtual booth, which is available on the platform. And we are eagerly waiting to talk to you. Thank you so much.